Hey guys, Old School Customized Raj here. Well, we're going back to memory lane on one of my cars that I own, and it's not that one. So get ready. Hey guys, well, Raj here. Of course, probably heard that in the intro already. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the Chevy 2 Nova, the one that I'm pretty sure guys you know which Nova I'm talking about, the little box Nova that I own. And we'll talk about the whole reason the reason why I own that car. And it has a lot to do with my father. And then we're gonna talk about also some little projects we're gonna do on the car. And we also have something else that I bought, and we'll talk about that too. By the way, we're not gonna do any work today, but probably do a little bit more of talking, and then of course certain things that I'm gonna probably do. I guess you could say in the next video, we're gonna do a little bit of fiberglass work and all that, but I'll give you the details on what we're gonna do on fiberglass work. Anyway, but we're gonna talk about the little Chevy 2 Nova, which is a little box Nova that I own, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I own that car. The whole reason behind it is because my dad owned one when I was young, and of course he always wanted to pass that car to me, but of course things didn't work out that way because he got in a serious accident and car got messed up, totaled, but either way, as time passed on, I ended up getting one. The funny thing about it, the first Nova that I ended up getting was a sedan, and then the one that I own now, it's a hardtop. So the one he owned was a hardtop, and I own a hardtop now. So I guess the fate. I guess that was a whole. I guess what I'm trying to say is that things still end up being the way I guess they should have been. I guess what I'm trying to say, like, since he owned a hardtop, I guess it was my destiny to own a hardtop too, not a sedan. But don't get me wrong, I loved my sedan, but I also had an accident on that car too. But of course, but the funny thing is I still own that same motor that was on the sedan is on the Nova right now to this day. So we're going in, switch it up over here and go check out some of these pictures that I have, so that way you guys can see how it started. Okay, I got some pictures here that I found, and you'll see that right there, that's my dad, and that's his little 62 Nova he had back in the days. He had center lines on it too, of course. He had the car more like the hijacker style, but you know, that was something that was, I guess they were into that back in the old school days. This is probably during the 70s, not the 70s, during the 80s, I think, the early 80s. That was his car. And this is my sedan. This is the one I end up buying. And of course, instead of going to that picture, we're going to go to this one. This is when I had bought it, right here. This is just a rolly chassis. I paid $600 for that car. Just like that. No motor, no trans, no nothing. And a buddy of mine helped me out get he had a motor at his house, so he helped me out with putting a motor into that car. And that same motor is still in the car to this day. It's still running strong. So when we got the car fixed up, from that, it went from here. As you recognize those wheels, the wells? Those wells right there, they're still in the car to this day. I only had the back ones. The front ones I had rallies. I ended up getting the skinnies like later on in the future. We used to have a super shops here in San Antonio, Texas, and the skinnies that I have on my car right now to this day, they're in my car now. and I had purchased those at super shops here in San Antonio, Texas. And of course, you can see over here, I had it with rallies. I think I took the wells off, ended up just putting the rallies on. And I guess I drove it like that with the rallies because I guess I didn't have the money at the time to get the skinnies. But and then right here, this is when I had got the skinnies, and I had the, of course, those wheels over here already. So I ended up putting the whole set together. And right here, you see that number? Boom. This car, I used to race it back in the old school days at Alamo Dragway here in San Antonio, Texas, when we used to have a track. So I used to race this Nova. I used to race it. In fact, I used to drive the car to the track, race it, and then cross my fingers, nothing broke, and drove it back home with slicks. And I don't know if you guys remember the, of course, we always used to have Mickey Thompsons, but the slicks I had on this car were Mercury's. And I don't even know they make those tires or anymore. But that's what I had. I had a 28x9 Mercury slick underneath this car. And at the track, it ran like 13 spinning. So I'm pretty sure we could have got maybe like a 1290, 1250 or something out of it. But of course, we only had, I guess, I decided, I did like maybe 3 or 4 passes, and I didn't want to break anything because that was my ride home, so I didn't want to push it too far. But I know the car could have gotten at least 1250s out of it. So like the motor doesn't have really nothing to it. It only has cam, intake, carburetor. I think it ran. We have 14 gears on it, 350 turbo with a 3000 stall on it. And that basically the car was stock with a mechanical fuel pump. No Holley red, no Holley blue, no nothing. And the car ran, 13 spinning. I think that's pretty cool. So that was the sedan. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, my dad had a hardtop. You can see the difference. This is the post. These cars don't have posts, just a hardtop, and the roof is also a little bit shorter compared to these cars. This car is a little bit taller. So, of course, later on, I ended up having a fender bender, and I lost my car. So one of my buddies, he had a Chevy 2 Nova, and it was a hardtop too. So he was always willing to. He asked me he wanted to sell the car, and I didn't think he was gonna ever sell it. I think he was kind of like, maybe just talking, or just saying that he was gonna get rid of it. But I explained to him what happened to me, the story of my car, I had that fender bender and my car got totaled. He said to me, like, if he ever will sell the car, he'll sell it to me. Sure enough, I end up getting the car. And that's the same car I have to this day. The Chevy 2 Nova. Of course, it was, I think, faded red, and I started primary in gray. You can see there. Of course, this had a straight 6 in it. I think right now, at that time, it had a straight 6 on this car right now. Well, at that time. It had a straight 6. The motor that was in here, I hadn't taken it out yet. So I was running it with a straight 6 for the meantime, because the other car was wrecked. And later on, of course, in the future, I end up putting that motor into the car, and then I have that motor. It's been in the car ever since, to this day. Of course, I end up, after doing all the prep work and everything, I end up painting the car. It had an Outlaw conduction on it. The silver. The car was like a silver kind of. This paint was made from, it was custom made. It was kind of like a silverish gray. And the car looked nice and everything, man. But, a lot of things happened to me during that time that I guess I don't want to talk about. It's kind of personal. but the car looked good, and like I mentioned earlier, those wells are the same wells I have on, even on the car right now. And yeah, man, so that's the whole reason why I own a Chevy 2 Nova, because my dad always wanted to give me his, but he had a fender bender and never got the chance to give me that car. So that's a whole story with all this here. Was because of this was the beginning of me owning the Chevy 2 Nova. This was the whole reason why I owned this car, because of that, my dad. And as you can see where the pictures are at, I'll explain to you in a little bit. Yeah, so that's the whole reason why I own the Chevy 2 Nova, because my dad had one. He always wanted to give me his, and of course things didn't play out the way I wanted to, or the way, in fact, not me, more like him, what he wanted to do. He always wanted to give me that car, and things didn't play out like they, I guess he wanted. So I ended up getting one. It's crazy. What are the odds? You can, I guess, travel the whole world, and you probably still might not end up getting one, but I don't know. I guess it was my fate to own one, and that's why I own that car to this day. But either way, cool story, and we're still not done with the Chevy 2. Still got a lot more stuff to do to it, but now you know why I own the car. Either way, so the next thing we're gonna do with the car, I end up purchasing fiberglass Outlaw conduction hood. I got this hood from a buddy of mine, and I think I paid only $100 for it. I priced it, and these things are pretty expensive. They're not cheap. It needs a little bit of work on it, but that's cool. Nothing I can't fix. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you the hood and explain to you what needs to be done before we decide to paint it, fiberglass it, and then pin. I'm gonna go ahead and put 4 pins around it and put it onto the car, just in the corners, the 4 corners. So I'll go ahead and show you the hood. As you can see here, this is what I need to work on. I need to get some fiberglass and cover all these holes. Take these things off, take those off. I think this car was in a race car, another Chevy Nova. I think it was a Pro Street, and I think he had one hood too many. So he said, "Hey man, I got this hood for the Chevy 2 Nova. You want it? $100." I said, "Hell yeah, I can't pass on the deal." So we gotta do some work on this, get it fixed up. Now I'm probably gonna end up painting it like a hot rod black, and just for the meantime, do the fiberglass work on it, and of course we'll do a video on this, on all the prepping and then painting and all that, so on, and then we'll go ahead and put this onto the Chevy 2 Nova. Yeah. So I ended up purchasing another, I bought something pretty cool. I figured you can never have too many motors or engines. So I don't know if I mentioned, let me see, under here I got that 402 big block, see, and that's gonna go into that car, the 55. And under here, under the roadster, this car, we need to start working on it. There's a 350. This is, I believe, a 2-bolt main. Yeah, I think it's a 2-bolt main. And oh yeah, that what I also purchased, that other engine. This intake came along with it. I believe it's a GM CFM. I've never seen this type of intake, but I guess if it's it came with the motor or whatever. And you can tell this had the EGR block off. And check out the way the ports look. It's crazy. I've never seen that. I've never bought intakes like this, so I mean, I don't know. We'll use it for something. We'll hang it on the wall. So right here, this is what I bought. Real small block. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys will know what kind of motor it is by looking at the balancer. So I'll go ahead and tell you. I'll cover this up. I don't want anything to happen to it. It's almost fell. It's a 283 small block. Yeah, some of you guys will probably say, well, that's a small motor. Yeah, it's a small motor, but these motors, you can put some power to it. And I've seen people do that. And so I'm thinking, I don't know. There's two options for me. I'm thinking either I'm gonna stroke the motor, or maybe just build it up and maybe throw a little cam on it, see what happens. I don't know. So probably the guy said it had a little rot knock, so I'm gonna have to go through the whole motor, which I will. I'm gonna check the whole thing and then we'll see what we can do. But I've already been checking online to see stroking that motor. I built a pretty good motor for it. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to race. I'm just here to give it a little bit more power. That's it. Just a little bit more power. And we'll see where that motor's gonna go. I don't know. I'm debating. You know, I got the 350 there, and I'm thinking of building that one. In fact, oh yeah, and that 283 also came with power pack heads. So that's even cool. That's like, I think they're like Corvette heads or something like that. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what kind of cars they come from. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's just a project that I might end up doing later on. But for the Chevy 2 Nova, we're gonna go to do that Outlaw. We're gonna do fiberglass work on it, do some body work on that, and then we're gonna go ahead and install that into the Chevy 2 Nova. And then we'll see how it looks. You are probably thinking like you haven't seen the Nova, and I'm not gonna reveal the Nova right now. Nope, because it looks different. That's why I'm not showing it to you. So you have to wait. But either way, so those are the things that's gonna be happening. What I'm gonna be doing, and we have to wait till the next video. And then we'll see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna try and see if I can get back and working into that roadster, man. That 33 roadster. The 55 is ready to go. That car's ready to go. Just to get some insurance and take it for a cruise and see how it drives. Because there's a possibility I might have to mess with the module. That transmission modulator or whatever the hell it is. Whatever the hell you call those things. Modulator, whatever, transmission module. Whatever the hell. I think I need to adjust the vacuum. Because I think it's a turbo 400. I think these transmission shift later on. Because usually those transmissions were made for trucks. Stuff like that with big blocks. And this is on a small block. So the car shifts and everything, but I'm gonna have to see if I can get that situated first. Now I'm gonna have to take it to my buddy, and I don't know, maybe he might have to check. It might be the governor. I'm not too sure why it's not shifting on its own. Because the vacuum's connected, but it's just not. It's not shifting like it should, you know. So, but I could do it manually. This shift manually, but I don't want to do that. I wanted it to shift on its own. But that's another project. Right now, we're just gonna concentrate on the Chevy 2 Nova, and Then the small block, that'll be another project too. But we're gonna do the hood and then fiberglass, and then install it on the Nova and see how it looks. We'll see. So just, keep on the lookout. Another video will be coming in, but of course it'll be on the hood, doing some bodywork, fiberglass, painting, and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. So anyway, guys, I hope you get something out of this, and I hope you enjoyed the memory lane for me on why I own the Chevy 2 Nova. And let me know, man, in the comments, what memories you guys have had with, owning a car, and why you have it, or it's something your dad passed on to you, or your grandpa, whatever, anybody. Let me know in the comments, man. Share their stories. I'd like to know. Either way, thanks for, watching and, subscribing, and don't forget, like and share and everything. And like always, keep on hot rodding. See you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy. Laters.